remains toxic for tens of thousands of years. Keeping people and the environment safe for this length of time is a huge challenge. One idea is to bury the waste deep underground. Japan's government has backed this solution, as have many other countries. They say they have the technology to do this safely. Japan's plan for underground barrier has been on the drawing board for more than a decade. It would start by separating the waste into cylinders. The cylinders, 1.3 meters high and 70 centimeters in diameter, will be encased in concrete. The plan is to bury them 300 meters below the surface. They would be housed in a huge repository, the size of about 200 soccer stadiums. The problem is where to bury it. Local authorities would have to give their permission. Efforts to find a site began in the year 2000. The government had hoped strong incentives would encourage bids to host the facility. It has offered up to 2 billion yen in subsidies to any region that applies for a survey. But 11 years after launching the bidding process, not a single candidate has emerged. It's a similar story in many other parts of the world. 30 countries and 1 region operate nuclear plants. Only 2 have decided where to build a long-term disposal site. They are Finland and Sweden. The United States has the largest number of reactors. The Obama administration introduced a new disposal plan in January, but it won't be implemented until 2048, 35 years from now. Finding a place to safely store nuclear waste was never going to be easy. The accident at Fukushima has made it that much harder. This issue goes beyond whether Japan should abolish nuclear energy. Whatever the decision, this country and others have to deal with enormous amounts of waste, and will have to do so for many years to come.
After the nuclear disaster at TEPCO's power plant at Fukushima, the Japanese had huge cleanup problems. One was to remove radioactive substances from massive amounts of water. Experts said doing it efficiently was difficult, but a scientist from Egypt is well on his way to meeting the challenge. NHK World's Noriyuki Sakai reports.
Professor Sherif El-Safdi works at the Research Institute in Tsukuba. The city lies north of Tokyo. The Egyptian scientist has developed a new substance that removes radioactive cesium from water. During the crisis, the nuclear plant at Fukushima produced massive quantities.
I am introducing this technology for Fukushima people, and the people like these people who are saving Japan even now.
This is where Sherif works, the National Institute for Materials Science. This is what Sherif developed. The powder plays a significant role in extracting radioactive materials from water. An expert in nanotechnology, Sherif is studying a material called HOM. The particles are invisible to the naked eye, as are its many holes, each about 1/1,000,000th of a millimeter in diameter. Sherif developed a technology to separate cesium from other materials by having radioactive substance absorb into these holes.
Then we put shaking.
The HOM is added to cesium-contaminated water. This magnet attracts these HOM particles holding the cesium.
Easy separations. And you have a clean water, something.
Shelif came to Japan 12 years ago after receiving his PhD. He was keen on researching the latest technology for treating water. That's because in his home country and the other African nations, groundwater often contains arsenic, a toxic chemical. In Japan, he had been studying ways to remove it from water. In March 2011, the nuclear accident overwhelmed the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Shelif and his family fled Japan immediately at the instructions of the Egyptian government. But a few days after he arrived in Egypt, he received an email from his boss.
What happened for Japanese friend, it will happen for us. What they are going to make it, we are going to make it.
1 week after the email, Shelif was back at work in Japan. Since then, he's been developing new materials to extract radioactive contaminants from water. Within 3 months, Shelif developed new absorbents for radioactive iodine and strontium. Then he finished developing the new type of HOM. Now it was possible to remove cesium from water more efficiently. Until then, experts had considered the process very difficult. Japanese water treatment and chemical companies are showing a lot of interest in his method.
This material seems to be highly effective. We are hoping to see how much further the process can be developed.
I am in the middle of the actions, middle of the disasters, so I am like you guys all, and I hope it will be success to be finalized in the safe Fukushima and safe world.
The nuclear accident changed Shelif's life. He says he now wants to do more research into technologies that solve Japan's environmental problems. Noriyuki Sakai, NHK World, Tsukuba City.
Before Shelif's method is used in the cleanup, he'll have to give a trial demonstration in the affected area. Then he'll have to work with chemical companies and the government.
Build me an engine that can carry me home. Light my darkness, bake my bread. Show me the future, keep my family safe and warm. Play me a song, make me smile. GE, we bring good things to live in. We bring good things to life. Be there in the morning, show me all there is to see. Turn my happy moments into sweet memories. Bring me closer to the ones I love. GE, we bring good things to live in. We bring good things to life. We bring new friends to play. Show how much you care. I wrote this just for you. We make you smile, GE. We bring good things to live in. We bring good things to live in. We bring good things to life. We let you live it again. Bring a song to your night. We help you to create. We keep you looking right. We bring you closer, closer and closer.
Oregon Senator Ron Wyden will ask the Government Accountability Office to investigate a program that monitors and maintains Hanford's underground waste tanks. Senator Wyden toured the nation's most contaminated nuclear site Tuesday after reports that one tank here was leaking. He's the chairman of the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee and is now calling for a wider investigation after Friday's report that 6 tanks are now leaking hazardous waste.
People in Japan's northernmost island say they don't want a nuclear plant near them. Hokkaido residents asked the government to stop building a facility. Electric Power Development Company, or J-Power, is constructing the plant in Oma on Japan's main island. The town is 23 kilometers by sea from Hakodate in Hokkaido. Work was stopped after the 2011 quake. It was resumed in October 2012. Heads of Hakodate and 5 of the cities submitted the request to the central government.
I don't think there's any need for the construction to go forward.
The mayor also said people are worried about the safety of the plant because it's just across the water. City officials say they're considering filing a lawsuit to demand a stop to the construction.
Iranian officials announced that they have selected 16 locations as suitable for construction of new nuclear power plants. The government wants to stress its resolve to continue promoting nuclear development for peaceful purposes, ahead of a meeting on Tuesday with 6 nations, 5 UN Security Council permanent members, and Germany. The head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, Faridun Abbasi, said on Saturday that planned construction sites include areas near the Caspian Sea and on the coast of the Persian Gulf. Abbasi added that Iran has found new deposits of raw uranium for its nuclear program, boosting reserves 5-fold. Iran started operating a nuclear power plant last year in the southern city of Bushehr to cope with domestic demand for more electricity. Also on Saturday, Iran's top nuclear negotiator, Saeed Jalili, said his country will pursue its right to nuclear development and will not accept anything beyond its obligations. Jalili also serves as the secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council. He says he hopes Western countries will not repeat past mistakes. All eyes are on whether the upcoming negotiations will lead to a breakthrough in Iran's nuclear program. The United States has offered to hold a bilateral meeting with Iran on the sidelines of the upcoming nuclear talks.
Representatives of 6 world powers and Iran are set to reopen talks on Iran's nuclear program. Delegates will meet for the first time in 8 months, but they enter the meetings in Almaty, Kazakhstan with a measure of skepticism. Kazakhstan's President Nursultan Nazarbayev met beforehand with European Union Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton and Iran's top nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalili. Nazarbayev said he hoped the talks would bear fruit once and for all. Delegates are demanding that Iranian scientists stop enriching uranium to 20%. Beyond that point, they can quickly move toward uranium that's weapons grade. The United Nations Security Council, the U.S. and the EU have imposed sanctions to encourage the Iranians to abandon their nuclear ambitions. The Iranians want those penalties to be relaxed, but Iranian leaders show little sign of slowing down their nuclear program. Last week, they announced the construction of new nuclear plants and the introduction of a new centrifuge in one facility.
U.S. researchers say authorities in North Korea may be ready to conduct another underground nuclear test. They've detected more activity at a facility in the country's northeast.